This is the Meaning Business Podcast, your go-to source for business tips, advice, growth, and exit strategies, hosted by Coudrey and Peter Spinda. Each episode, we bring you real stories, expert insights, and practical advice to help you succeed in today's market. Let's dive in.
So welcome to Meaning Business, the podcast for people looking to buy, sell, or grow their business in Australia or anywhere else in the world for that matter. It's me, Bruce Coudray, and Peter Spinda this morning. One, Pete.
Hi, Bruce.
How you doing?
Yeah, not too bad. Feeling good.
That's good.
It's actually starting to warm up, finally.
Yeah, we've got a lot going on too.
Yep, absolutely.
So before I shoot off to Melbourne today, I wanted to talk about the secret to selling a business and how there's variables that we can get in place to make every business that's on the market sell.
Yep.
But before I get to that, I sent you a text this morning. Did you see that?
I did. And I think, Jay, maybe we could even put this up for viewers. Just for those that are listening, it's a 2007 Porsche Boxster 987 manual MY08 for $21,777.
Yeah, silver,
Beautiful
black
car.
Interior, nice car.
Love it.
It's in Queensland, not far from where I live.
Yep.
I've been trying for more than 3 weeks to get this guy to let me have a look at the car. I need to go and buy the car. And I can't get an answer. I got one text saying, I'm overseas, my brother's looking after it. And I said, okay, I'm on the Gold Coast, when can I have a look? No response.
Nothing.
So the point is that we often think that, price is what sells things. But I want to buy that. And it's the same with houses and so on. Sometimes people sell things too cheaply, thinking that's going to get them the sale, and it may not be the case. So I wanted to go through the levers, and I think if people have got something on the market and it's not selling, these are the adjustable components that we can amend to get a business sold. So it used to be our secret, used to be our top secret sauce. It's kind of
So we're going to divulge our secret now?
Exactly. And you used to say it was 4 things, but it's actually 6. So I thought I'd go through it, Pete, and we'd just have a quick chat about these things so people can think about what it is that they might want to need to do in either preparation or during the sale process to get things sold and to get the best price.
And what's interesting about this is that there's nothing that's like, wow, magical, earth-shatteringly, crazy.
Sorry. Yeah.
We actually all know this, but quite often it's the fundamentals that we don't do.
There's no better example of how the fundamentals are so important.
Yeah.
But I would say that, so like I said, it used to be 4 things and now it's 6. And I would say that one of those 6 things probably, as far as I'm aware, Benchmark is the only company that does one of these 6 things, and it's transformational. It's the thing that makes everything sell.
Oh, I'm looking forward to hearing this.
Okay, but still basic. So the first of the 6 things is pricing. So if you don't get the price right, you'll either stay on the market too long, or if you get the price wrong and you decide to reduce the price, that looks terrible. And it creates a stalled sale. You get the price right, and sometimes that means having no price, having offers above or expressions of interest. Probably a bit tricky, that one. But having a price, it's not like selling houses, because houses are commodities, businesses are unique.
Yep.
So getting the price right is tricky but super critical. How you frame the price and how you set the price is obviously the foundational first thing. And if we get a opportunity to lead up to putting the business on the market by doing an appraisal or working with the accountant and the lawyer, and setting how we're going to sell it, the price and some of the other things which I'll talk about later, you'll get a better result.
So it's more than just me as a business owner thinking, oh, my business is worth $1 million and that's what I want and that's it.
Much more than that.
Much more than that.
In fact, if you think that, you may be right or you might be wrong.
Yep.
And you might be too high or might be too low. Imagine if you were too low.
Absolutely. You're losing money, leaving money on the table.
Yeah.
And then if you're too high, I guess what could happen is that you're enamored by that number, and then your business sits on the market for a year, 2 years, and over time you might have to start going backwards and winding down the price, and then that's a bad look.
That's right. So getting the price right is important, and use it. It's not just about getting the price right. It's not about the number. It's how you get to the number that really matters. So if I'm selling you my business and I tell you that the price is $3 million plus stock, for example, the first thing your mind is going to go is, okay, how do you justify that?
Yep.
What's the return? How do I see value here? So if I can use a proper methodology or methodologies to price my business, discounted cash flow, capitalization of future internal earnings, whatever the appropriate methods are, and I can show to you using these different methods how we got to the price,
Yep.
then we can have an academic debate over what the business is worth and why we price at that price.
So then you can also decide as a business owner whether you're going to list at that point in time or whether you're going to hold on for another year or 2 years until potentially you get to the point that you want to get to.
Totally right. Very important point. So there's two parts to any business value. There's how much it earns, revenue, the profit, and then there's the multiple or the cap rate or the risk assessment that the market puts on that earning. So some businesses will earn $1 million a year and they'll sell for $1 million. Some will earn $1 million a year and they'll sell for $5 million. And it's because the market assesses that business as being risky or not risky. So what we want to do is make sure we got the maximum revenue there, but also that we assess the risk properly and we manage that risk to get the best multiple on the value. But again, it comes back to methodology. So the first thing is to price it right using a proper methodology that we can support the price with. We should use a couple of different ways of looking at it so that I can say to you, hey, Pete, we've looked at the business this way, we've looked at the business this way, and this is why we've priced it at this price.
Absolutely. And I guess from a benchmark perspective, we've sold, how many businesses have we sold now?
Yeah, it's over 5,000
5,000.
since 1990 something.
So there's also all that data that we can tap into and all that history and understanding of where have things been, where are they today, and where could they potentially be?
Yeah, exactly right. So two quick things on that. Number one is, data, good. But, in 1999, a news agency was selling at 4 times EBITDA, 4 times what the owner earned by working the business 7 days a week.
Wow.
Now you'd be lucky to find a buyer for it if you gave it away.
Yep.
Literally, just down the road here, the news agency at Bulimba, Oxford Street, is closing. So what data does is it doesn't just tell us what things are selling for, but what they used to sell for, and you can see the trends and the progressions.
Yeah.
I can see, again, in 95, childcare would sell for 1 times profit. Now it would be 5.
5?
Probably.
Wow.
Sometimes more, sometimes less. But a lot more than what it was.
Yep.
So it's really interesting not just to understand what the market's doing, but where the progression is.
Yep.
And, the other thing about valuation is that you can have 2 businesses, exact same location, exact same area, specialty, industry, but let's say they're both making $1 million a year just for the sake, or 500,000 for the sake of the exercise, right? So both making 500,000, exactly the same revenue, exactly the same gross profit, exactly the same net profit, exactly the same. Are they worth the same? Let's say they're in the same location, so you can't take that variable out, not different state or anything. And the answer is, a lot of people would say, yes, the methodology is, you capitalize the earnings and you put a multiple on it, or we should project a discounted cash flow. But it's not often correct because let's say they are childcare centres and one's at 100% and one's at 50% and one's at $100 a day per child and the other's at $200 per day per child. Well, one's got capacity to grow and the other one hasn't. So are they worth the same? No.
No, yeah. So there's the opportunity side, there's whether there's contracts, no contracts, stability of the team.
Yeah.
So many other factors.
Yeah. And if we take these 2 hypothetical exact same businesses and one's trajectory of profit is down and one is up, which one would you rather buy?
Yeah. Up.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So.
But then again, sometimes you actually would want to look at the down.
I agree.
For various reasons.
I agree.
So the mind initially says, I want the one that's going up.
And that's probably the most rational, logical thing. You're right. But sometimes there's potential in the down. I totally agree.
Yep.
I totally agree. So for buyers, not so much sellers, for buyers, looking at something that's run down or cheap is often a better option. So there's a business that I was looking at yesterday that turns over $3 million a year, doesn't make much profit, great staff, been going for 30 years, got great products. It's a wholesale distribution business, fantastic business. The owners past the point where they need to be working the business, they're well past it. They need to sell urgently.
Yep.
Unfortunately, because otherwise they could probably do things to rectify what is the case.
Yep.
But it operates on too small a margin. And it's an opportunity for someone to take that business at a very, very low cost. Basically, you're just going to be buying the equipment, the stock, and the debtors.
Yep.
And it's an unusual one for the debtors to be included, but it would. And you'll get a very low-cost business that you can do a lot with.
An opportunity.
Absolutely.
It's like a home renovation, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly right. So So that's the first thing about price, and sometimes value is not so straightforward. You need to have good appraisal skills, good valuation technique, understand the industry and know what the drivers are to get the value right.
Yep.
So that's the first one. Get that right and we're off to a good start.
Yep.
We're off to a great start. So the second thing is having everything, all the data ready. By the way, I'm not going to take as long on the other pods as
Well, I think price is one of the most fundamental ones.
Yeah.
That's the one that most people think of first up.
Yeah, exactly. And it's really important to think about how we get that price and to justify it to the buyer and to ourselves.
Yep.
So to go through that process. The second thing is to put all the data into a nice, neat, up-to-date, contemporary package, so that when a buyer says, yeah, look, this proposal I've looked at here, the cost, the price, the return, it makes sense. I can analyze where the money comes from. I can analyze what the expenses are. I can see what I can do with it right now today, and I can make a decision. But if you don't have everything up to date, if I've got it's now late 25, right? 2025.
Yep.
If I only had the figures up to 2024, it's not good enough.
Yep.
As a buyer, you're going to go, well, I'm sorry, I need the current figures, because a lot could have happened in the last 16 or 18 months, and I need to see where it's going. So those 2024 numbers are not up to date. And it's the same if I have a balance sheet for June 2025, and we're now in later 2025, and that the balance sheet could have changed. The stock could have changed. The debtors could have changed. The equipment, the plant and equipment could have changed. The liabilities could have changed. So we need to have everything right up to date. We need to know exactly what the staff situation is, what the work in progress is, if that's a factor. And so getting everything ready and right on top of it and staying on top of it. So if you get the business on the market in, say, November, in December you're going to have a new set of accounts and you haven't got it sold. Maybe it's better to wait till December or get on the market now, knowing that in the 31st of December, bang, we've got to have everything ready to go.
And you mentioned before staff. So when you're talking about data, I've just written here, data, is it just financial data, or are we talking about data to do with the business as a whole, whether it be who are the key staff, roles or responsibilities, all that sort of stuff?
Yeah, it's a really good point. You're taking me to a different place here, so I'll be quick. A lot of people think you've got to spin a good story and tell a fluffy, lovely story. Oh, we've got great staff and good orders and stuff. No business is perfect. So I'm compiling all this information. It's probably a good idea to think about what the strengths and the weaknesses are, what the opportunities and the threats are. Because no buyer is going to look at a business and say, oh, the data's good.
Yeah.
They're going to go, what can I find wrong here?
Yep. Picking the holes.
Yeah, and being fair income about that is a great thing. These are the opportunities. So what happens is a seller thinks about strengths and opportunities. A buyer looks at weaknesses and threats. By having all four categories contemplated, when we do get into this discussion, you, the buyer, say to me, the seller, hey, Bruce, I see these weaknesses. I'm going to say, yeah, but we've got these strengths. And I acknowledge those are weaknesses. And, that's up to you to decide what you want to do.
That is so powerful. So we're talking about really transparent preparation where we'll basically just be completely honest.
Exactly.
Not hide anything.
No, it's
critical.
So unfortunately, I don't know why, people can get this silly idea that, I can fudge it through. And, if you've got, let's say you've got $500,000 worth of stock in a business.
Yep.
Not all that stock is going to be fast-moving stock, and not all that stock is going to be current, and not all that stock is going to be valuable.
That's all right.
So we need to be honest about that, because the buyer's going to figure that out anyway.
Yep.
And if the wood duck buys it and regrets it later, we're probably going to have to deal with that later. So let's get everything sorted out and really clear, and that's the purpose of this compilation of all the data, getting everything right. And if we do have slow-moving stock and it's going to be an issue, let's get rid of it.
Yep.
And if we've got staff entitlements or issues there, maybe we can sort that out too. So it's more than data. It's about telling the story, enabling the buyer to properly and thoroughly analyze what's there.
Yeah. Facts instead of opinions.
Exactly right. So opinions don't matter anymore, and that fluff doesn't matter anymore. It's all about data and information. We're in information, anything that's in doubt today, we Google it.
We do.
Right? And what does that mean? It means we're going to check the facts.
Yep.
So it's the same in the IM information. You don't want to have all this, guff about how lovely it is, or the historical story of the business. That's nice, but we really need to get to the facts and the data and the information, warts and all. That's what people want to know.
So that's what preparation gives us. So what's the third one?
Yeah. And moving on, a marketing plan. So knowing who the buyers are helps us. There's 3 types of buyers: strategic buyers, economic buyers, and the buyers that want to get a bargain. They have another name in our truck. They're not tire kickers. So there's 3 types of buyers. So when you were selling, which buyer do you want to deal with? You want to deal with the strategic. They're going to pay you the most money. So it's the marketing that enables us to find and approach and deal with those buyers. So that means a bit of research sometimes. So if you're selling a business which is a very unique business, let's say it has something to do with an airport or a hospital, and it provides a unique service or product, there might only be 5 or 6 buyers for that business in Australia.
Yep.
But they might see that the strategic value there. So you've got to go and find out about them, who they are, what their history is, how much capital they've got, what their expertise is, whether they're on the growth or decline, and be able to talk to them that way.
So it's not as simple as listing it on Seek Commercial or Real Commercial or wherever, any of these websites.
No.
It's actually being more thorough with the approach.
Absolutely. So in the old days, when I started selling businesses in 95, it was the newspaper. You put an ad in the newspaper, you waited for the phone to ring on Saturday morning. It's changed a lot. So that was what I call reactive marketing. And even internet is reactive. You put it out there, you wait for the call.
Yep.
So more proactive marketing is now the way to go. So EDMs, you've got a database of potential buyers, you go to those guys.
Yep.
You then also do the research on the market and find out who's the players and how you're going to get to them, talk to them. So marketing is a combination of reactive and proactive. But to be honest, there's so many people who are only operating on the reactive marketing side and not being proactive that they're missing out on sales. That's not just about the price. It's not just about the data. It's about knowing who the buyers are, going out and finding them, talking to them, presenting the case to them. See, you know, businesses are either growing, stagnating, or dying. And really, the best way to grow is through acquisition. So sometimes you might be a business owner. You might not be looking at buying my dry cleaning business because you're happy with yours and you're happy where it is.
Yep.
But you're really stagnating.
Yep.
And if I can show you this other business and the opportunity to grow and really create something very quickly, you may jump at it.
Yep. It's interesting. So quite a few years back, I owned a recruitment agency. We were recruiting specialist medical doctors from around the world. And you had actually had 2 clients. You had those that wanted to employ the medical doctors, and then you had the medical doctors themselves. And so what we would do in those days is when we had a really good candidate come through, let's say it was a orthopedic surgeon, the best way that we got them a job was to work out, okay, well, where do they want to live? What are their needs? What's the skill set, et cetera? And then we'd actually approach the different hospitals.
Yeah.
Even when they weren't advertising, we'd approach the hospital and say, hey, we've got this candidate. Would you be interested in looking at the CV? If you're not interested in the CV, have you got any colleagues that would be interested?
Yeah.
And that worked really well. And that was that proactive marketing, not just waiting for the clients to come to us to say, hey, Pete, have you got an orthopedic surgeon that we can employ?
So this is important to me. It's an important point. If I'm a business owner and I've engaged a business broker and all they're doing is putting it on the internet and waiting for the emails to come in, I don't think that's good.
No,
that's not good enough.
That's not good enough.
I want them to be going out and finding me the best buyer, even if that person or company isn't looking to buy.
Yep.
And talking to them. That's what I consider to be a business broker's role.
So they're hunting. They're proactively hunting.
Hunting with knowledge of who the market or who the target is, who the prey is, you know.
Yep.
So there's 3 things so far: pricing, getting all the data collated, and marketing. Really important. The 4th one trumps them all, in my opinion, and that's a marketing or sale plan. So again, this has only been a recent development on the 30 years or whatever it is I've been selling businesses. It's probably only the last 10 years that really this has become such a critical factor. And what it is it's about preparing to how we're going to make the sale happen. And you can only do that by analysing the business and saying, okay, is it going to be a share sale or an asset sale? What's the best way to transact here? Do we need the seller to stay in the business, or can the seller walk away on the day of settlement? Will we get a better price by retention or earn out? How are we going to deal with the employee entitlements, the debtors, the work in progress? Work in progress is a massive one. So it's only by getting the accountant and the lawyer and the business owner and the broker together and figuring this out that we can then go, okay, now we know this is our plan to sell this business. It's going to be a share sale and we're going to offer a retention and we're going to, or whatever it is, whatever the recipe is, this is out. Now, we don't have to stick with that, by the way.
Yep.
But people like clear plans and guidance and understanding and vision. So if you're the buyer and I'm on the market at the right price and I can show you how we got to that price and I contact you and I've got all the data and everything ready, and I say to you, Pete, we've looked at this and we think the best way to make this transaction work for you and for us is either a share sale or an asset sale with a retention or an earn out or none of those, whatever it is. And we've got work in progress, and this is how we're going to calculate the value of the work in progress. Then it makes it so much easier for you to go, okay. You might say, no, look, we don't want to buy the shares in the company. We want to do it as an asset sale, a business sale. Fine. Let's go down that path. We can discuss that. But we've got everything ready to do that. Because on the seller side, we've decided what the pros and cons are of each option, and we're ready to adjust our plans accordingly.
That's powerful.
Yeah, so it's literally a written document that dictates how we're going to transact and how that's going to work. So then that was number 4. Most important. Number 5 is really not that important for most business owners, and it's just to have exclusive agency. But what happens if you don't have exclusive agency? That means if you don't have one agent or one broker working for you, if you've got many, it devalues it massively. If I'm a buyer and I go to Peter and then I go to Jay and I go to Johnny and you're all selling me the same thing, all of a sudden I'm going, what's wrong with this thing? There's nothing wrong with it. But the perception is different.
But it's also less motivation. I mean, the broker in that case is not going to be as motivated. They're not going to spend all that time in doing market research analysis and all of that sort of stuff if they know that there's a possibility that Mary or Bob, who have also got the listing, are doing the same thing.
I'm going to counter-argue with that. I'm going to give you the counter to that.
Yeah.
Some business brokers get exclusive agencies, and because they've got an exclusive agency, they sit with their feet on their desk and wait for the phone to ring because no one else is going to take this off me. That's bad. So an exclusive agency should not go for too long. You want to keep that broker on his toes. You want to keep him active and motivated, no more than 6 months. That's
so
enough.
In those sort of cases though, are those brokers charging a monthly fee or are they getting a commission for results?
Some do, not many.
A bit of a
A low percentage is a good question. A low proportion will charge a retainer. And again, not motivated to get the sale. Because whilst ever that retainer's coming in, well, I'm pretty happy.
Absolutely.
Not a good situation. So I'd advise business owners to not give too long an exclusive agency period. And as a broker, I know sometimes you need a year, but you got to earn your stripes. If you give 6 months and we haven't got it sold, you can decide then if you want to continue or go with someone else.
Absolutely.
Brokers need to be motivated by our results. We need to be production minded.
Powerful. And then that leads into the last one.
Yeah, which is proactive, which brings up another thing that you may not contemplate, so I'll bring that. So, through a lot of this, what we've spoken about is proactivity. So you've got to be proactive in how you appraise and value the business. You've got to be proactive in putting everything together. You've got to be proactive in the marketing plan. The broker needs to be proactive in creating the sale plan and working with the accountant and lawyer and banker and everybody else to get this plan executed. Obviously, if you're going to have a 6-month or a 12-month authority period or less, you need to be proactive there to get the deal done. But bottom line is you need to be proactive. And one of the other elements or actions that proves proactivity is what we call a sales process timeline. So once we've got the deal agreed between the buyer and the seller, we like to have a thing called a sales process timeline. It's again another benchmark thing. I don't think too many other companies do it, if at all, where we get the buyer and the seller and their advisors together. We sit down and we go, okay, this is the roadmap between where we are today and where we want to be. Along the way, there's due diligence and whether we tell the employees and finance approval and leases and, PPSR, all these hurdles and things to tick off along the way. And at any point in time, we might go, no, we're out, that's it. Or we might go, and we need to create a hierarchy or a sequence where we go, well, we're not going to tell the staff it's sold until the due diligence is done and the finance is approved. So, but having that meeting and getting everybody on the same page is super important, and that's part of that proactivity. So again, just to recap, if you've got a business for sale and it's not selling, it's one of those 6 things that's causing it not to sell. The price might not be right. You might not have all the data up to date. You might not have the right buyers coming to the business. You might not have the right marketing plan in place. You might get buyers and you're not sure about how we're going to do this transaction.
Interesting. For my basic simple mind, I've sort of distilled this into 2 things. One is clarity and one is proactivity. Clarity that we've got to be transparent as business owners, and we have to be willing to divulge what we need to divulge the right way and say the truth.
And that clarity comes from honesty, being honest with yourself.
Absolutely. And then the proactivity actually is a two-way street. You can't just sign up a broker and go, okay, here you go, and you do it all.
Oh, no.
The business owner needs to take the proactivity, and there's things that you'll need to do.
Yeah.
You can't just expect magic to happen without you being proactive and working with the broker.
So before we started recording this, you sort of felt that 6 things was a lot. Maybe we can shorten it. And you said preparation was something you noticed. And proactivity and preparation are really the same
Pretty
thing.
much the same thing.
Same thing.
Yep.
So tell me this. Have you met business owners who are not interested in doing the preparation?
100%.
Why?
100%. It's either the day-to-day, I've got things to do, I don't have time for that. Or 2, they don't see the value in preparation. There's a misunderstanding between preparation and results. Value. And number 3, I think some business owners know they need to sell, but they don't want to. So they actually go against themselves.
Yeah, that's true.
So they're kind of...
That's another subject.
It is.
Psychologically,
Absolutely.
they're not ready to sell.
That's right. That's right.
But let's say you've made the decision to sell, you know, and in some instances you don't have enough time. You've just got to sell now.
You do.
But, you know, if you want to get it sold, you want to get it sold quickly, you must take these 6 steps.
You do, and the
must.
And the paradox of it is that if you want to sell it quickly, then you actually have to spend time in the preparation in order to sell it quickly.
That's right.
And that's the thing. I think a lot of people that I've spoken to, a lot of business owners, don't understand that it's not as simple as calling a broker and saying, "Hey, I want to list my business." There's things that you need to do in advance. And that could take a month, 2 months, depending on the situation, or it could take 2 years, 3 years. So we're working with a client at the moment where we've been working with them for 13 months now, and we're still probably another 12 to 18 months away from listing the business. But we're going through the preparation. And as we're doing that, the multiple probably will change a little bit, but more importantly, it's the EBITDA, the profit that we've moved. And we're making the business more attractive, and we're building less reliance on the owners, which will mean that we'll sell a lot quicker.
One little small point observation there is the monthly fee that they pay you over the period of time is more than covered by the increase in value.
100%. Like the return on investment, we've actually got this as a measured case study.
Yes.
The return on investment is multiples and multiples. You know, people like to talk about X's. Yeah, it's probably 5 or 6X easily in the first year. So, and that's the other thing. You've got to look at preparation and cost and preparation as an investment.
That's right. You're not just doing it for fun. You're doing it for a much better result.
Exactly. It's a commercial benefit.
So just back to the 6 things quickly. These are the levers. So let's say we've got a business on the market and it's not selling. It might not be the price.
That's right.
It might be the marketing. It might not be the marketing. It might be that we don't have all the data compiled. So if you've got a business on the market, it's not selling, have a look at it and figure out which one of those 6 things it is, fix it, and you'll sell it.
Absolutely. You know what's popped into my mind as we're talking? What we should do is generate some sort of a quick checklist that we could provide business owners. You can sort of assess your business against this checklist and go, okay, where am I? And if you've got any questions, reach out to one of our business brokers and we can have a chat to you about, okay, well, what's the situation in your business if you're currently not listed? We
will have that checklist on our website and we will send it out to anyone who asks for it. And that's a good idea. We'll get that done.
Awesome. Anything else to add to this?
Oh, I think that's enough, Pete. If anyone's still awake, thank you for staying with us. It's great.
Absolutely.
We'll see you next time.
Awesome. Thanks, Bruce.
Cheers.